What's the difference between a slot player that always loses and someone who wins? It's your observational skills that make everything come together. So we'll talk about that, and it's going to be a blast. I can't wait to show you. But first, it's been 7 months since I held a live stream on Tuesday afternoon at this time. But I'm happy to be back. Welcome to all my viewers who can't make my other two weekly live streams on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern and Saturdays at noon Eastern. This is my 206th, 207th, I think 206th live stream. Been doing them for years. If you're new to my content at this day and time, usually how these live streams work is I will start off with a slot machine gambling topic inspired by your emails, comments, or suggestions from past live streams. Then afterward, I'll start answering your questions. And as always, thanks to my many moderators for helping today. For those of you who are new to my content, hi, I'm Dr. John Friedel, also known as Professor Slots. Please call me John, Professor, or PS. Why PS? Because I tend to add just one more detail. My two cats are a male gray named Emil and a female calico named Hetty. Sometimes they walk by, or as my moderator Chuck calls them, Saboteur number 1 and Saboteur number 2. And over here is my 8 college degrees. Yes, 8. But don't get too excited because I have the student loans to go with them. They're in physics, engineering, and mathematics. One of the engineering degrees is engineering, Master's of Science in Engineering Management, which is basically a business degree. Yes, I worked for 20 years designing first military and then commercial jet engines at 2 primary gas turbine engine manufacturers. I also like to teach and have had fun teaching decision-making analysis and system simulation to industrial engineering graduate students at the University of New Haven in Connecticut. That's right next door to Yale University. And mechanics and materials to undergraduate engineering students at the University of Cincinnati as an adjunct professor. Oh, and I've been an avid slots player for almost 20 years. My Professor Slots business started a decade ago, but I started my YouTube channel in 2018, 5 years ago, after I wrote my slots book, Learning to Win, which is up there. And I wrote that, then created a website, then created a podcast, and many social media accounts. And yes, I did it all backwards and probably should have started on my YouTube channel first. Anyway, no regrets. Today, I have nearly 200 podcast episodes, a healthy ProfessorSlots.com website with about 800 visitors a day. And this week, I surpassed 1,000 videos on YouTube. Sounds like something, right? It is something. I've mentioned all this because this is a new time for me, or new this year, and I wanted to introduce myself. So, welcome. This live stream is your opportunity to ask questions, slots questions. I'll start off with a slot topic inspired by your questions from past live streams and comments, questions, and conversations with you. If you have a question, start asking it now. I'll talk about today's topic for a little while, then start answering your questions. Thank you for your patience. So let me put that banner up there so to remind you about the hashtag question that I would like you to put in front of your comment. Our topic today is, as usual, how to win at slots. Specifically, it's about getting up from your slot machine and going for a walk to see what there is to see. Now, I've written about how to do this. You can see this in my ProfessorSlots.com website. If you go down to, let's see, I've been posting 1 or 2 articles a day. The key to slots winning is knowing your casino well. And in this article, which has a video and a former live stream and a podcast episode 195. It's all written up here for you, but I thought today I wouldn't let you read it so much as and so that's there for you. I thought you might be more interested in something else. So all that. So you can read that article. I'll put the link into the live chat for you to get to. Be careful you don't click on it and leave the live stream. You have to right click and choose a new tab or new page. But you could read that. But all that free content is available to you. But today I thought I'd take a different approach. Let's look. So let's do that. I will see if I can. Yes, I think this should be good enough for you to be able to read. I want to be able to show my mouse because come on. There we go. All right. This is me at Choctaw Durant, Oklahoma. This would have been in December. And that's obviously me. And I want you to take a close look at this picture. What do you see? What do I see? I see opportunity. So let's talk about let's see, make that a little bigger. I know some of you are on smart devices, on smartphones, and it can be hard to zoom in. So I wanted to, I'll go back to being over here. But I'm doing this in a way that I can zoom in. So let's take a look. Right? And should be able to, yes, should be able to do this. So when you look into this high limit room at Choctaw Durant, you see what? What do you see? You see machines that are pointed at you. This one, for instance, is pointed at you. This one seems to be down. This one on the end, this one on the end, this one on the end, this one on the end. Maybe if we were to go a little bit to the right, we would see others that are sort of on the end of the rows there, but that didn't jump out at me. So and these here, they're sideways to the direction, so we won't see what's happening on them if someone's playing them until we get up to it. And then why would we look all the way to the side? We wouldn't. So let me bring that back to. Yeah. So that's the high limit room. And one of the things you can do is walk into it and then turn around. One of the pieces of advice that I give people is find the high limit room, stand outside of it and look. And this is what we have here. But you can also walk in to the back here, turn around and look out. And what machines do you see? Is there anything set up? Like, for instance, this machine could very well have a nice view from anybody walking for a little length of here to be like, well, that's one machine the casino would love for you to play instead of leaving the high limit room, right? So let's keep going here. That was Choctaw Durant. This is one of my moderators, Texas Tootsie. We went to Coushatta last year, and while I could point out some of the things going on behind us, instead, why don't I point to the high limit room? So this is a picture of the high limit room, and if you go to the high limit room area, there's two entrances. They're both kind of a ramp up. One is very wide. I don't have a picture to show you, but I'm explaining principles here. And one is very narrow. Now, if I were to turn around, you would, if I turn the other way, you would see all the table games. They have a direct view up this ramp. So when I was there with Jan, we did a tour of the casino and I was pointing out highly visible machines. And I said, those machines right there, maybe not this one on the end, the fourth one in, but this one, this one, this one, highly visible. Play those. But let's continue with our tour. I told Jan, Texas Tootsie. And we completed the tour of the casino. And I said, well, let's go back and check those other areas to maybe play a little bit. And we came back here, and a gentleman right there, whoops, not that one, right here on this machine was winning a hand pay. The slot attendant was administering a hand pay, and he had said, we had a nice little chat with him, and he said that somebody had just won on this one a few minutes before, since Jan and I were taking the tour of that casino. So that's the only hand pay we saw the whole day. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Try it. And I'm not messing around here. I'm a serious person trying to help you. Yeah, so that's the smaller entrance at Coushatta in Louisiana. And so when you're walking around, there's something else I want you to look for, which is this. Can you see that? Maybe make it a little bigger. Right there. Must hit by $5,000. This is a labeled must hit by, and sometimes they say must pay by. Win before is something some of the different manufacturers, slot machine manufacturers say. And over here on this one, must hit by 500. So yeah, if you played this machine, and there's two on one side, and let's see, yeah, not that, and so if you know Coushatta, the tribal casino in Louisiana, it's actually number 5542 on the ID at location GR-802 and location GR-801. Okay. So you can see these. They have two labels. Most slot machines do somewhere so that the casino employees, when they're assigned to a machine, they can find it. The coordinates help, and the ID helps. And so, yeah, there you go. Does your casino have labeled must hit buys? Because if this were $4,981 and it must hit by $5,000, shouldn't you play it? I mean, if you were to just walk, find them in your casino, walk by them, every casino visit. How many times would you have to visit your casino before you walk by and went, I've never seen it that high. It's so close to 5,000. Why don't I just play it? And you win $5,000 or you win $500 for no effort because it's going to hit. It's not odds. It's going to hit. Now, I go to Atlantis Casino often here in Reno, in Nevada, and it has 19 of these machines and about 2,000 slot machines. 5 of them, is that right? 5 of them are in the high limit room. And the other 14 are out on the casino floor, maybe 2 at a time at various places. They can be hard to find. But then this is like guaranteed win if it goes over that amount. Please go look. And this is another machine. There is the range for this is on these majors. This is also again at Coushatta. For the majors, it drops to 250. I don't know if you knew this about progressive slots, but they drop to a number and they go up to a number. And these machines are great in that they are labeled. There's only like 6 of these machines. These 3, and then 3 more on the backside. And that's the entire Coushatta. Like I said, it's only a few out of thousands. But if so somebody won it fairly recently when it dropped to 250, but somebody's been playing and it's been climbing. And it doesn't have to pay. They don't pay out. Majors and minors don't pay out at the same time. So which of these 3 machines should you play Well, if you want to win the minor, this machine. If you want to win the major, this machine. But it does take a certain amount of money to go up by a certain amount. And certainly you don't want to put money in when it's $25 and get it to climb to $50 because it could take $1,000 to manage that and you'll win $50. So you got to wait for other people to play and then take over. Now it's called slot stalkers. This is not the casino stalkers that might bother you and try to scam you. They're actually there's slot stalkers that are stalking slot machines, these slot machines. So this is something that is well known in the small specialist circle of progressive slots. And why aren't you looking to see if you have machines like this so that you can walk by and go, oh, time to get on that machine, time to get on that machine, right? You can even, it's a whole thing. I talked about that in the past on live streams, and become a specialist. Right. Have you ever seen machines being removed? Yeah, this is Coushatta. The morning I left, I'd seen some little tags on machines, and I said, well, they're going to be moved or something like that. Just this little flimsy thing. And I got up early the next morning to go play machines. There was a machine that was the second from the end right there. That was what was it? Cash gold cash, something like that. And I have some pictures of it. And I put up a demo video, and it was right over on this side. Over on this side, can you see that, mouse? Is the entrance to the hallway to the hotel registration. And just a little bit further down, you can see here is the rewards club. So yeah, it's a very, very active area. And this machine, people would come out and see this machine and see people winning on it, and they go play another machine. And that's how the casino, markets. They have a budget for this. That's how they say, get you excited and go play. Yeah. This carousel was being taken down, not put up. And that's kind of what that looks like. It's interesting how many machines are being replaced these days now that the pandemic is kind of over and the budgets are better. There was casinos were hurting for a while there. Okay. Now this is WinStar, and I'm putting this up specifically for my audience member, John, same spelling as my name, because he's like, oh my God, it's like the biggest casino in the world. It's, so much going on. And there is. So let's take a close look at this. There's a bar, which is what I call a landmark within the casino, where people sit. Nobody's sitting there now, but people in general are sitting there. So the machines facing that area, not these that are facing away, not those that are facing away, not even these four machines, because they're at an angle where they're not really visible, not highly visible, just a little visible and hardly visible. But those machines over here, well, let's take a little closer look at that. This is 5:45 in the morning, 13 minutes to 6 a.m. And look at that. Do you like, what is that, Gold Hills? I have demo videos of playing Gold Hills. So this person, what is that? Is he playing maybe the second from the end? I think so, on these 5 machines. Why is he playing that one? One of these machines, not all of them, because odds are different on different machines, even if they look identical. He picked that one. Does he know something? Maybe. Maybe that's the one he wins on. It's easy enough to use my 5-spin method and just make 5 bets on each one. The one where you win a couple $100 after a minimum bet, that's the one you play. Duh. And so, yeah, maybe he knows something, maybe he doesn't. So there are things to be learned from watching other people play. And that's the machine to go back to. I can't quite tell if it's the second from this end or the third. I think the second. Okay. Now there's this awesome carousel elsewhere in the casino. To the right or to the left, down the hall is the high limit room that I was. I don't think I'll show you a picture of that. There's just so much to show you. But if I'm walking up this aisle, it doesn't really go anywhere. You have to turn left unless you see this machine, right? Or this machine, or this machine. In fact, if someone was sitting at this machine, you might not be able to see the screen, although it is pretty high. So if so they're sitting down, you might be able to see that somebody's winning. But here, no, if somebody's sitting, your view is unblocked. So I'm more inclined to see these two machines as being highly visible, and really going with this one over here because it's also visible from the other direction, from the aisle that goes left, people coming from that direction. So this is a sort of how highly visible is the machine. James says had an interesting thing. Had an interesting thing happen to me at a casino recently. I sat down on a machine, put in a voucher and $200 bills. Put in a voucher. Okay, so finish your story. You only get 200 characters, and it kind of stopped in the middle. Hopefully, we'll find out what happened there. So, James, yeah, and okay, so let's do the next one. Let's see. Yep, one more. There. So this is another carousel like this. Actually, I think it's yes. You see how this is the lightning with the buffalo, and that's the lightning with the buffalo. So coming from this direction, we can easily see these three, but that machine is easily visible from the left, as I was just showing you here, and from coming down this aisle. So that's the one I would play. Not ones on the backside, because this direction to the left, there's nothing happening there. It's like doors to like the internal part of the casino. Now, if we could back up a little bit, these machines on the end are important because, again, this is coming from the high limit room. Again, end of row machines. End of row machines. These machines down here, all highly visible. A little bit of this one and just a little, not really much there, but this one's fully visible. So, you can take 2,000 slot machines and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now you're down to 8 out of all these different machines. Now, the WinStar is the largest casino in the world. Every other weekend because Chuck Todd-Durant's like, we'll see about that, and they're doing construction. And whoever completes the most recent construction is the biggest casino in the world. So it's this competition like Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun in Connecticut were for years. And they built them, Foxwoods eventually built themselves up to the second largest in the world, but then they dropped down after WinStar opened. All right, so there's a restaurant over here. Machines are highly visible. Is that ATMs? Yep. See, so it's not the ATMs are a landmark. People wait in line at ATMs, at cashiers' cages, and so what do you see? What is visible for people standing in the line? So if I were to stand at the ATM and look this way, what would I see? Well, machines that are be on the other side of here. And what else? That's the sort of thing that you are looking for. This is a long hallway in just one small section of WinStar. So what do you see? You see you cannot see much going on. Let me, whoops. You can't see much going on, right? Because you can't really see the screen, but you can see here there, and as you move further down, maybe a couple more here. I wonder about this big display up here. One thing you want to do is you might find a highly visible machine. It's too visible, and I call that trying too hard. The casino is trying too hard, and you want to be careful about those because it's a tourist trap. Is one word my fans have used for it. All right, and now this is not bad. These machines, you can't really see what's going on. You can't really see what's going on. Maybe down at the end of the row, and kind of like a couple here, and then maybe the end of the rows here. And so that reduces. I keep on clipping something here. And so this is what you want to look for at your casino. Stand in a main hallway. Try to find the widest aisle. And you can't really do that in WinStar because it's like 15 miles of aisles. And if you go, down this aisle, you may find a cross section. So an intersection with another main aisle, big wide aisle. And so the intersection is what you want. Nicola says, and I apologize for jumping ahead here, but it's relevant. Nicola says, I rarely win if I sit at the end or visible machines. So if because most casinos do this, but you don't know what the budget is. You can go to Las Vegas on a Saturday when California has come to visit. Nobody's winning. But the first people who do will be on these machines. So if you're not winning on the end of the row, please understand that there's probably a minimum of 3 machines in your casino. There could be 2,000 machines. Some casinos have a big budget, and it's every end of row machine. But then some other casinos are like, this is all, we've got a small budget, so we're just going to do the machines at the biggest intersection, not all of them, but one person. You have one machine when you're walking this direction, and then one machine when you're walking this direction. And guess which machines those two are? The ones being played. This is hard work. This is hard work. You can add my other strategies, but if you're new, then just do this alone, and your odds are better. Let's see. I wanted to do more here. We've got good having some questions. This is WinStar. These machines have a must-hit by. Let me zoom in for you. On each of these. And they're called, we're used to grands, majors, minis, minors. This one's called Hurricane, Tornado, Whirlwind on the progressives. And this for $1,277.56, it must hit by 2,000. The $390 and 55 cents, it must hit by 500. And the Whirlwind is $184.30, but that must hit by $200. And so which of these 3 machines here? Yep. Which of these 3 machines should you play? Well, and there are different numbers here. This first one and this last one have the same must hit buys. So 1,629 versus 1,277. When the must hit buy is 2,000, then this is going to hit first. And then 391 and 390, pretty darn close. 174, 184, pretty darn close. And so this is what you are looking for. Now that'll work. So this is another set of machines where they're all 8,000 on the major, 300 on the minor. And so, the 7,500 is close to 8,000. 7,298 is less close. The next one is $7,025, even less close. And then this one down here, I can just make out $7,359. So if you were going to play this one will hit first on the major. But for the $300 minor, the first one's 211, 235, 246, 201. So it would be the second machine. Again, you don't want to play it right now. You want to wait for it to get closer because other people are playing it. And this is how must-hit buys that are labeled work. Good. And okay, so let's talk about tools that can help you do some of this stuff. So I have, let me go to where I'm at. Yeah. Well, let's do questions. Let's do a few questions. James finished his story. First part is, had an interesting thing happen to me at a casino recently. I sat down a machine, put in a voucher and $200 bills and started playing it. Young man came up to me claiming he had left money in the machine. Anything I won was his. Wow. Became rather aggressive and demanded the money. Host ran a diagnostic and saw my voucher and money. And was he a scammer? Probably. I mean, there's people that are drunk, right? But then there's like, well, just, the scamming part was not asking for his money back, but anything you had won from it. That's the scammer part. And yeah, get aggressive. But you did the right thing. You called for somebody. I was at one of the jobs I worked at. I went to the cafeteria at 6:30 in the morning. I'd been working for 4 hours, and it was time for breakfast. And I stood behind somebody, and I didn't realize at first that he was sexually harassing the cashier. And then he looked at me with this awful expression, lust and guilt, and I have nightmares about that. And he went away. And I went up to the woman. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Well, it happens." And you could tell she was visibly shook. And I'm like, "You need to go talk to the security guard." And she's like, "No. And I'm like, I tried to convince her for a second, but she needed to recover. And so I'm like, okay. I went to see the security guard. You need to talk to this woman. She was just sexually assaulted. Okay. And I came back the next morning. I left at that point. They took my name. The security guard knew me. And I came back the next morning, and I walked up and I said, "Wow, yesterday was pretty crazy, wasn't it?" And they were all standing around with shocked looks on their faces prior to my even saying anything. And they said, "He was just here again." And then I hear the security guard, a friend of mine, I heard the security guard down the hall saying, hey, you, stop. And yeah, HR called me in and got my statement and all those things. It's just a horrible experience for me, for them, for her coworkers, and it's a horrible experience for the guy who was caught. So I'm so glad that you called a host, called for help. It is hard to do, but it's the right thing to do. Yeah, security is very nearby in a casino. Well done. Bobo, what about machines that are placed near the line for the Players Club? Absolutely. If you look at my most recent demo video, I'm like, and there's the cashier's cage, wide, or you go to the one from Legends Bay, and I'm like, there's the rewards club, and next to it is the cashier's cage. And now I'm going to play this machine that's pointing at anybody. Well, two machines that are pointing at anybody in line at those two places. And one of them, I won hardly anything at all. And the other one, I got a bonus round, and it lasted 20 minutes and whatever. Yeah. What are your casino landmarks? Again, I went through this in the article. Let me bring that up for you. Go through the article. I put the link in the live chat, and just the basics of start from your favorite slot machine, stand up and look around. Where are you? What do you see? In what direction is the main entrance, the second entrance, the cafe or food court? If you don't see any of those landmarks from your favorite machine, go for a walk, find those entrances, and escalators to another level, or hallway to the hotel registration, cashier's cage, the rewards counter. What machines can you see? The biggest intersection, the widest aisle, follow it. More likely than not, it'll lead to the high limit room, or go by it, or directly to it. If it doesn't, walk the other direction. And are the aisles straight? And it's not just aisles. Sometimes they're clearly marked with lights running along the sides, like a landing strip. But sometimes the paths people take from like escalators around the corner, I see this at Silver Legacy in Reno, it's not a walking path. It's just sort of like wide enough where there's no machines that people travel there. It's not a clearly defined pathway, but a lot of people walk that path. So it's not just the clearly walked paths. It's just look for high traffic areas, people getting from one place to another. You ever been to a college, you see a land grant college, where you see all the concrete sidewalks going, across the campus, and then you see the paths worn by students when it crosses another sidewalk, and there's a shortcut on the grass, and the grass is dead. You look for those at your casino. This is just amazing stuff. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. We were chatting earlier. Let's see, James, Lisa has good advice. James, if your machine was a $0 before you said, okay, yep. We got further details. There's the kinds of mistakes, you can't afford to make a mistake. Call somebody, particularly when they got angry. Is he incompetent, or is he a scammer? Doesn't matter to you. It's just wrong behavior. So, pass. Hey, Frenzy, good to see you. You found the new time. Late night has been better returns for my casino. A lot of are. I've told people go at between 4:00 in the morning and 6:30 in the morning, the day after a holiday or a busy night. And I'm like, sorry. And they're like, no. I'm up. So sometimes early is, convenient for people. I was surprised. I like to sleep in, but then I like to stay up late. So hello, Frenzy. Late night has been better returns for my casino. Yeah. Daytimes, days of the week, they all matter. Today I'm just talking about find the landmarks and find the machines that are pointed towards landmarks. Basically, there's more detail than that, but there's more detail than that. But like WinStar, for instance, it's the exception to the rule of 4:00 in the morning until 6:30 in the morning, and after that, it shuts down on the morning after. Because they have the best operating systems, the best central server, the best software on the central server, best of everything, because they can afford it, and they realize their investment matters. And as I warn people, it's not going to be 4:00 in the morning till 6:30 in the morning in another 5 years, because they're all going to get faster computers, better software, and be able to determine what they need to do to balance their accounting faster. And right now, as far as I know, the only one that's doing that is WinStar. So at WinStar, go at 2:00 in the morning, and it's all over by 4:30, because they have better software. The rest of the casinos will start doing that. So yes, would you always recommend 4 to 6:30? I would recommend weekdays and weekends. Well, you want to have it busy the night before. At Hard Rock Tampa, it's busy every night. At Pechanga, it's busy every night. At WinStar, Chuck Dauderant, busy every night. I mean, I took photos at 5:45 because the crowd went away at 5:30 that morning and came back at 7. So I found a time when I could take a photo of a hallway, and there was only, you saw there's there's only just a bunch of people around rather than like a whole crowd. But then there's other casinos where you're like, is there anybody else in the casino besides me? And so, the busy night is like Saturday morning after Friday night because they have stuff on Friday night, but not really any other time. But it sounds like your casino is busy. And so, yeah, every morning, 4 to 6:30, weekends, weekdays. But it's hard to make generalizations for all casinos because your casino is special, just like every other casino. And so you want to be there the morning after the casino has had a lot of accounting going on, a lot of busyness. And this is a technique for them to fix what's going on due to that busy night. But if it's not a busy night, then they don't need to do it. But don't just do 4 to 6:30. I mean, one of the things I'll talk about is my course, where my fundamentals course is there's this, there's that 5-spin method, there's tough love, there's this, each one of them is separate. But the advanced course, Slots Labs, is about how do you start combining these things? Flip at WinStar. He's a fan, often comes to my Saturday Saturday live stream at noon. He does the 2 to 4:30 because WinStar needs that 5-spin method, highly visible machines, and then tries to adjust the stay away from penny slots because the penny denomination is the worst. But the worst nationwide. It's few things you can say nationwide about slots. One of them is penny slots are the worst denomination. Yes. I know my demo videos are all playing penny slots, but that's just because I'm only just getting started in the demos, and it's mostly for newbies. But yeah, multi-denomination machines, switch over to 2 cent, make half the size bets you were on 1 cent. You're not betting anymore, and your odds just like double. Yeah. Linda. Hi, Linda. Question. Showing us the must hit buy if it is close, do you recommend playing the minimum bet or higher? If it is a standalone, it doesn't matter. Again, I'm getting into details on the advanced stuff. Progressive machines are often networked, where side by side machines will have the same progressive down to the penny, and it will change, increase at the same time on a whole bank of machines. It can be wide area, it could be across the state, or it could just be like 4 machines in a row, or even 2 machines side by side, or all the machines at a carousel. But it can also be standalone. If it's on a standalone machine, if nobody else nearby has the same progressive, you can make max bet or minimum bet, whatever you want. But if it's on other machines where you see the same amount, then that's networked. And if it's networked, well, is there somebody else playing? If nobody else is playing, then minimum, maximum, that's up to you. But if somebody else is playing, what are they doing? If they're making minimum bets, let's say 90 cents, and you're making maximum bets, $4.50, your odds are 5 times better because you are increasing the progressive by 5 times more for every bet than they are. They could still win it. There's a 1 in 6 chance they will win it, but there's a 5 in 6 chance you'll win it because they're going up a little, you're going up a bunch. Who gets there first? Now, the problem becomes, are they making maximum bets? In which case, you need to make maximum bets, and there's a 50-50 chance that you'll get it or they'll get it. Half and half. Yeah. This is just how it works. Nicole, I don't know where you mean. Hard Rock Cincinnati? I have a feeling you mean Hard Rock Tampa. Hard Rock Tampa, highly visible machines right there at the entrance. Julie, one of my fans, it goes there all the time, and it's very clear to her. Now, James, sorry, has told me that it's very hard to find a quiet time, hard to get on the machines because they're all busy, particularly the ones that are highly visible. I mean, people are learning these things. But he did say that Tuesday night, or I should say Tuesday morning, sorry, Monday night, Tuesday morning at 1 a.m., the casino's quiet. Just like about 5:30 to almost 7 is quiet at WinStar when I was there. And the rest of the time, it is not. What is better bet, high or low? So, as I was saying, nationwide, not penny slots. That's one of the few generalities we can say about slot machines on all states. We see this in the 7 states, 20 states offer monthly return statistics. 7 of them show, 7 of them will show the return statistics broken down by slot machine denomination. And for 20 years, penny slots have been the worst, except one time in Central City, Colorado, where it was not the worst. It was there was one other denomination that was worse, and yeah. So if you go to, it's a little out of date. So I will show you what's going on. Let's go to ProfessorSlots.com. Go to Colorado slots. Return the player. I have articles on the 20 states, and I need to do them better. There's also a video you could watch, and so I explain all the return statistics, what they are, where to get them, how to do it yourself. And this is the, I'll make that a little bigger, and I'll make myself a little smaller. And these are the 3 frontier towns in Colorado which have gambling, and they did that. The state did that to help them with their economy. There's also 2 tribal casinos, but the tribal casinos don't have return statistics, but these cities do. So Blackhawk, Central City, Cripple Creek, and Cripple Creek is gray. And so why would you ever go anywhere else? Well, if you look at the map, where's the map? Where's the map? Where's the map? Sorry, I'm just fumbling around with the map. No, okay, so need to go further down here. Should be a map here. Should be a map. Oh, come on. Where's the map? Let me bring this back so you can see. It did not add a map? I did not. Wow. Oh, it's sort of here. Blackhawk and Central City are like 5 miles apart, and Cripple Creek is quite a bit further away. So Central City and Blackhawk are really competitive, being only a few miles away. Cripple Creek is way down here, and so that's part of the reason why this is happening. It's a choice. This is not random behavior. This is a choice. This gap of data is when all the casinos closed due to the pandemic. But you can see that Cripple Creek and Blackhawk are pretty evenly matched. But that's monthly return statistics by city. You can also go by penny, nickel, dime, quarter, 50 cents, $1, $2, $5, what's called high, which is greater than $5, and multi-denomination. And so you can look at each one of those. Penny slots have higher odds at Cripple Creek and really low at Blackhawk, and it's kind of right in between at Central City. So, there you go. Again, nationwide, all you can really say is don't play penny slots. It's the worst denomination. But if you're in Colorado or the 6 other states that have it broken down by slot machine denomination, it's not random. You see this line? You see how it's all the way up here? That's not random. That's a business plan. That's a choice by the casinos. Just like it's down here for Blackhawk. Then you can, Central City, if you want to play, what is that? That's nickel. Central City, you play nickel. Avoid them in Cripple Creek. Only Blackhawk has dime denomination. This is quarter denomination. Again, Blackhawk is like down here, and it's kind of like getting a little even, but I would say Cripple Creek would be better for quarter denomination. And then you have 50 cent, which Central City doesn't have, and it's pretty evenly matched between Blackhawk and Cripple Creek. This is just data. This is an opinion. This is data. And of course, this only goes up till about the end of 2021. So you'd want to like continue and create spreadsheets. I hope you like spreadsheets. My audience usually likes spreadsheets. And you can sort of see what's going on in the last year. And I'll update these regularly, but there's a lot of work to do. And for the $5 denomination, it's just all over the place. And a little bit like that for the high, more than $5 denomination. And then the multi-denomination machines, again, really clustered together, but they're generally heading downward. Yeah. So now this is just Blackhawk. You can see penny down here, pennies down here, daylight between this and the rest. And then there's Central City, which had some things going on. And then there's also that Central City again for all the denominations, and a lot going on with Cripple Creek, where the high had some wins and some lows and some highs and some lows and some highs and some lows. But again, the blue here is penny across the bottom. So this is, useful stuff for you. Right? Linda has a question. Are you saying stay away from a penny bet even if you bet higher than the low? Yeah. It's 80. It's a penny denomination. Now it gets complicated fast. On statistics, what you want to do is increase your baseline. Just, you're not going to find a machine that on average, you're not going to find a denomination that on average is over 100% all the time. You might find a machine, but not a denomination. So what you're looking for is just to have the best so that you can use my techniques and start higher than you otherwise would. You're starting, you're starting in the basement. You're starting, you're in a hole if you play penny denomination, no matter how many credits. I mean, you can find the highly visible machines and you can raise your odds, but by golly, if it's a 2 cent denomination, you have less work. Your baseline is better. I hope that makes sense. Statistics. And I want to thank Linda for her $10 donation. And while it didn't happen here, it happened since the last live stream. I want to thank Margaret for her Karma donation. I don't want to say how much it was, but it's going to help with rent. So thank you, the two of you, for your donations. It is much appreciated. Okay. So any other questions that you have? I don't see too much. I think I covered everything. Usually these live streams last about an hour, and that's where we're at. So, be sure to like this live stream. Here, I'll put this note in. Basically, this is a way for you to practice influencing and central server. This one's at YouTube. And by liking this live stream, you get more people to notice it and come in. I think it was, you know, I don't see anything like this other than my demo videos showing you what machines to play, and you know, at 3 different casinos, right? And I'll keep doing the demo videos because, yeah, it's like, go here, do this. How hard is that? But but I can't go to every casino. I can't go to every casino. The reason I can't go to every casino is because there's 1,000 of them in the United States. And if I went to 2 casinos per week, it would take me 10 years to visit all of them. It's just math. So I can't be at your casino unless I just happen to be there. And the odds are not good. So look and see what I see. Take these live streams and go for a walk. Go for a walk, look around. And there's a lot to see. Things that would help you win. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much. What a great live stream. I'll see you this coming Saturday at noon Eastern. In the meantime, I highly recommend you watch this demonstration video about how I combine 2 strategies, my 5-spin method plus playing highly visible machines at Atlantis Reno.